Okay, today we're going to learn about some new angle types. Still going to be, our topic is still going to be angles, but the main thing that we're going to be looking at today are going to be vertical and adjacent. Okay. These are two very, very important things you need to understand. They're not terribly difficult once you understand it, and it's a good thing to have in your, basically in your toolbox when you're trying to figure things out, when you're trying to figure out angles. So we'll go through this and we'll figure out what everything is, and then we'll use some math to actually solve for some missing values. So adjacent angles are two angles that share a common vertex and side. So one side, that means they're next to each other, they share a common vertex, and they share a side. So they are next to each other. So let's do some examples from our example over here on the right. So I'm going to show you. All 1, 2, 3, and 4 all share that common vertex. They all come together right there. But now I just need to figure out, okay, which ones have a common side? Which ones share a side? I'm going to change this to, let's do green. So if I look here, angle 1 and angle 2, those are adjacent. So I'm going to write angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent. Let's look for a couple more. I think there's 4 pairs on here. So then we have that side. So 2 and 3 share that side. So that's angle 2 and angle 3 are adjacent. Let's look for another one. Right here, angle 3 and 4 share that side. Okay, they're next to each other. So we also have angle 3 and angle 4. And there's one last side there. Right here, angle 1 and 4 share that side. So we also have angle 1 and angle 4. Those are all adjacent angles. Okay, adjacent angles are always next to each other, share a common vertex, the point at the end where the angle originates, and then they share a side. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are a little harder to understand, but they're really, really simple once you get it through your head what they are. So vertical angles are two angles that are across from each other when two lines intersect. So if you look, what they're talking about is two lines. So this is a line, and this is a line. Okay, those two lines intersect right there. That's an intersection. That's basically, you drive through an intersection when you're driving where two roads cross. That's an intersection. That's because the two roads come together there. That's all those are. So anything that's across from each other of that intersection are vertical angles. So let's take a look and see, what are vertical angles? Well, what's across from each other? Well, let's look at these two are across from each other, right? 1 and 3, those are across from each other. Okay, so that's vertical angles are angle 1, and they are also congruent. Oops, that doesn't go there. Sorry. Vertical angles are congruent, which means they're equal. So whatever the measure of one angle is, the other angle is also the same. So down here we've got angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. What else we got? Well, we've got 2 and 4 are across from each other. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 4. There are no other angles across from each other. Okay? So that's it. We're done with those two. When there's two lines crossed, there are two sets of vertical angles. They're across from each other. Okay. Naming angles. I'm going to do number 2. You're going to have to go through number 1. Okay? So number 2 is kind of a pain. There's a lot of them. And I may not even get all of them, but I want you to find yours. Number one is kind of easy. Number two, there's a lot, because I'm going to kind of color them in as I do it. I wouldn't color them in, but for you, but just to look, there's an angle right there. So I can call that angle PQS. Angle P, oops, yeah. Oh, they didn't even want angles. We just need adjacent. So we just need adjacent and vertical. Okay, that's even simpler. Sorry, I didn't even read the instructions. So we need adjacent and we need vertical. Luckily, there's only two lines that cross. Let's do the vertical angles on number 2 first. There's only two lines that actually cross. That one and that one. Okay? This one right here, that one doesn't cross because it doesn't go all the way through that point Q. So I've only got those two lines that cross. So vertical angles are going to be the ones on the opposite sides of that. So let me erase that. So I'm gonna color these in while I do them. So actually, this one and that one, those are across from each other. Okay, you don't need to color them in, just write down what I'm writing. So vertical angles, that's angle PQS and angle RQT. Remember, the vertex always goes in the center of your naming. Okay, so that's why Q is in the middle every time. Okay. The only other angle, since those two lines cross, is right here. Okay, I'm going to color that and this. Okay, so that's going to be, let's call it SQR, angle SQR, and PQT. PQT. So those are the two angles that are vertical angles. There's no other vertical angles on that. Okay. Let's talk about adjacent angles. Adjacent angles, it's any angle that's next to each other. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to kind of show you, here's the easiest way I think to show you how to do these. I'm going to pick one of the rays. Remember, a ray is what comes out of the vertex and goes out as one of the sides. Here's a ray. So I name the two angles that are on each side of it. Okay? So that's PQS. So I've got angle PQS, and what's on the other side of it? It's SQV. Angle SQV. Okay, all I did was I named these two angles because they share that side. Okay, now I'm going to do another one. So we did that S. Here's another side. So I do the angles on both sides of that. So it's going to be angle SQV. And what's on the other side of that one? VQR. So angle VQR. So the two I did on that one was this angle and then this angle. Those are adjacent. They're next to each other. So let's pick another side. How about this side? So we've got two angles. We've got this one. So I've got angle VQR. And then we have the other angle, RQT, this one, RQT. So I've got angle RQT. Trust me, there's a lot of them. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, this one. Okay, we need to do both sides of that. So we have, again, RQT. We've got that angle. So angle RQT. And then the one next to that is this angle. Okay, that's going to be, we'll call that PQT. And angle PQT. Okay. And I think there's one last set that we have not done. That is the set on both sides of this one. So we need PQT. So angle PQT and angle, what's on the other side of it, is this one. Okay, PQS, angle PQS. Okay, sorry that slipped over onto the end. Hopefully you're writing kind of small. Okay, I'm going to do a couple on number 3 for you. Again, if you're getting behind, pause the video to catch up. Don't think if I'm going too fast for you, pause the video, rewind it. That's why we do video. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of these because they want you to look at what it is. So I'm going to look at A. So they're looking at angle 1 and angle 4. Where's angle 1 and angle 4? I'm going to do, let me erase this. Angle 1 and angle 4. Here's angle 1. And here's angle 4. Well, what are those? If we go back and look, that looks like they're adjacent. They share a side, right? They share this side right here. They share that. So those are adjacent. So all we got to do for that one is write adjacent. Okay? I'm going to pick a different one. Let's look at B. Angle 7 and angle 9. Okay? Angle 7, let me erase what I did. Here's angle 7. Here's angle 9. Those aren't even attached. They're not next to each other. They're not opposite each other. So guess what? Because what are the 3 options? I've got either vertical, adjacent, or neither. Those don't share a side, that they're not on each side of something. So this is a neither. Okay? As a neither. Oops. Hold on. That goes over here. Sorry. 7 and 9, not 5 and 6. Now I'm going to look at C. So I'm going to do A, B, and C. You're going to do D, E, and F. So C. Angle 5 and angle 6. Well, let's find angle 5 and angle 6. Angle 5 and angle 6. Okay, that one's pretty simple. If I look up here, that looks like they're opposite each other, right? So those are going to be vertical angles. Okay, so do D, E, and F on your own. On the back, this looks hard, but it's not. Okay, these are pretty simple. Once you get down the understanding of straight angles, right angles, and how many degrees are in a circle and things like that, these get really simple. Vertical angles. What did we say about vertical angles? They're equal or they're congruent. Well, if those things are equal to each other, so 65 degrees is equal to X. There's our answer. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do number 5. Number 5 is a little bit more difficult because this is where kids, I don't know why, but it seems 7th grade has trouble with understanding that if you take a part out of the whole, you have the other part. Well, this whole thing, I'm going to highlight this whole thing from yesterday's notes. This is a straight angle. Yesterday's notes said a straight angle is 180 degrees. Okay, so the whole is 180. If I subtract 52 degrees, I should get X. Okay, because whatever 52 plus whatever X is should give me 180 degrees. Well, what's 180 minus 52? It's 128 degrees. So X is 128 degrees. Okay. Number 6. There's some extra information in here that we don't need. And they do this a lot of times on tests to see if you can figure it out. We don't even care about this. What do you see in the middle there? That's 2 lines that are intersecting. Hopefully that gives it away. You're going to have to do number 6 on your own. I'm going to do number 7 for you. Number 7, remember from yesterday, that little box means this is a right angle. So that means this whole thing is 90 degrees. Again, that's the whole. If I take the whole of 90 degrees, subtract 63 degrees, I should get x. 90 minus 63 is 27 degrees, so x is 27 degrees. You need to do the other 3 on your own, okay? And matter of fact, right over here is a really good reminder. Recall, a right angle measures 90, a straight angle is 180, okay? Using algebra, there are 6 problems. I'm going to do 3 for you. Hopefully it'll make it real simple. So again, this angle and this angle, they are vertical, so they are equal to each other. And you'll hear me say this sometimes, is set them equal to each other. So we end up with 7x plus 16 is equal to 128. I just made this equal to that because they're equal. They're the same value. I just have an x over here. So to solve it, it's a 2-step equation. Subtract 16 from both sides. That's gone. I now have 7x equals 104. Wait, that's not right. Hold on. It's 108, right? 128.62. No, 112. I'm sorry. 112. Geez, I can't even do my own thing here. Divide by 7 on both sides. Divide by 7. That goes away. So x is equal to, what is it? 16. So there's my answer. X equals 16. This one, number 11. They're telling you everything you need to know. So this plus this equals this. What is that? Remember, it's 90 degrees. So 31 plus 10x minus 1 equals 90 degrees. Okay? That's all you're doing. If you add the 2 parts, you get the whole. Each one of those is a part. So if I do this plus this, I should get the whole thing of 90. Okay, they're 2 pieces. I add them together, I get 90. Well, now I've got an equation where I just need to combine like terms first. Well, I need to combine 31 and negative 1. What's 31 minus 1? 30. Let's put the 10x out front. So we got 10x plus 30 equals 90. Now we've got a 2-step equation. Subtract 30 from both sides. I end up with 10x equals 60. Divide by 10. And I get x equals 6. Okay. And you can check it out. I can put that 6 back in here. 10 times 6 is 60. Minus 1 is 59. 59 plus 31, throw that in a calculator. You should get 90. 59 plus 31. Okay. I'm going to do 12, and you're going to have to do the other 3. Okay. Again, hopefully you're remembering this is a straight angle. What's a straight angle? Equal. Okay. What was a straight angle? 180 degrees, right? So they're telling us this piece is 27 degrees. This piece is 8x plus 9. So I'm going to write it like that. 8x plus 9 plus 27. Adding the 2 parts together should give me the whole. Okay? It's the whole thing. So combine like terms. Still have the 8x. 9 and 27. That gives me 36 equals 180. Subtract 36 from both sides. That's gone. I end up with 8x equals 144. Divide by 8 on both sides. That goes away. X is equal to 18. Okay, so there's my answer. There's my answer. There's my answer. Okay. I did examples that are exactly like these other three. You just have to use algebra to figure them out. Okay? They're not that difficult. Okay, just work through them slowly if you need to. I will say these last three are a little bit harder because you're going to have to combine more than just the whole numbers. You're going to have to combine the variable terms also before you can move on and solve the equation. Okay? And that is the notes for today.